Greetings, Lambda Chi, High Pies, and advisors. Welcome to the September Advisor Update. We're starting to get settled into the new school year here at the office, and I'm sure your chapters are as well. Our guest today is Brother Avery Baker. He's our Associate Director of Learning Support here at the office, and Avery's going to speak with us about the new advisor orientations. Before that, let's get some updates. From invoice and billing from our accounting department, the fall 2025 semester invoices will be posted on September 15th. That's coming quickly. Please ensure your chapters have updated their rosters by September 7th. Make sure the billing's correct, and that way we don't have to try and go back and fix things. The semester billing is going to be due on October 15th. One exciting thing we have going this year, you should have heard from us already, but we're going to have a second Neville Advisors College. This year's second NAC is going to be held in November in Dallas, Texas. This is focused on newer high pies and newer advisory board members, but any advisor can go. Whether you're experienced, whether you're brand new, or fall somewhere in between, we'd like to see you there. There's only a certain number of spaces, though, so please register quickly. That registration is open. There's a link to the registration website in this email. Check that out. Email Alan Horton if you have any questions. The programming is going to be focused on the Tau, the Delta, and the Kappa advisors in particular. And you'll see some of this theme going through here of the advisor orientations, the RMA credit, NAC, all of it focusing on those three officers and in particular their advisors. So check it out. We would love to have you there. You've heard this from me as well, but I want to call to mind again, we have a new Advisors in Action series. This is podcast-esque. It's on YouTube. It's being hosted by Alan and myself. And it's directed specifically at our advisors, our high pies, advisory board members, other volunteers working with the chapters. We always have a guest who's a current advisor or volunteer in some capacity, perhaps a past one. And then we like to meet an individual of the staff so that you guys can get a feel for who's working behind the scenes here. These episodes are supposed to be shedding light on some operational best practices. So give it a listen. The link to that is in the email as well. We have unveiled a new Lambda Chi website. Now, this is just not the volunteer support team. This is across the board. So we've got a new student-facing page, new alumni-facing page, new volunteer-facing page, the same address, lambdachi.org. Check us out. A lot of the resources that you saw on the Advisor Hub are being moved to the My Lambda Chi portal. They're going to exist in what's called the resource library. We'll have more on that as we proceed. Something else you've heard from me regularly, but I want to remind us all that there is an advisory board credit, an RMA credit tied to the advisory board this year. Chapters can qualify for an additional RMA credit if their high pi and advisory board meet the following criteria. That is, an individual advisor has undergone certification and viewed the high Tau orientation track, the high Tau advisor orientation track. An individual advisor has undergone certification and viewed the high Kappa advisor orientation track, and an individual advisor has undergone certification and viewed the high Delta advisor orientation track. These must be three separate advisors viewing three separate orientation tracks. Once that's done, you can apply for the RMA credit. And that's a good segue here into talking with Brother Avery Baker. He's going to talk to us about what those orientations are. So let's bring Brother Avery in. Avery, welcome to the September Advisor Update. Thank you, brother, for being here.
Hey, JJ, thank you. It's good to be on. Good to be here.
It's always a fun time, advisors and high pies, when Avery's in the room with us. It is never dull. So he's going to bring a little life to these advisor updates, I'm sure. Avery, remind us, how long have you been at the Office of Administration?
Yes, so I've been at the office for 7 years as of this past June. So I started here at the office in 2018, and I got to be part of that last ELC cohort. And then also really got to see the transition to the virtual coaching model, support model, and then have moved over to our learning team in recent years. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Avery's got obviously some institutional knowledge and some history here. He's seen multiple different iterations of this, so he's a good guy to have helping design the new trainings, the new orientations. Talk to us a little bit about the advisor-specific orientation tracks. We've had the general advisor orientation. What are these three new ones?
Yes. So this is I think this is really exciting, especially with the start of the school year and honestly leading up to transition season as we're thinking later this semester in like October and November time. But as far as the orientations go, I think there are really three key points to know. One, this is a way to just reorient ourselves with Lambda Chi college students today, what that experience looks like, provide tools to connect with our officers, and then also provide a little bit of reflection on the type of advising experience you want to bring. Because this is a new thing, right? Like being volunteers, working with students, that's a new kind of experience, and this is a way to help build that. And so, just looking at those three, the first part, and this is really the built off the general advisor orientation, what's existed for a while, that situation with what is Lambda Chi today, what is the advising experience look like, and then we also have talk a little bit about Gen Z and being like, hey, what does today's college student need? And so that's kind of the big piece for everybody. And then we start to transition into more officer specifics. So we start with leadership ready, and this is for every advisor, this first part, right? Learning about Lambda Chi today, leadership ready, where we start to break down topics that are in the STED Leadership College. So the STED Leadership College, for those who don't know yet, is it's our leadership development part of the Lambda Chi Academy, where officers can go and learn the soft skills for leadership and the hard skills for their roles in order to be prepared for their role and earn a certification. So the cool part for the orientation, we don't want you guys to have to like go through all of that, because for the students, that's like, right, 3 to 4 hours. They're submitting assignments and assessments. It's very nitty gritty officer specific. And so for the orientation side, how we break it down is we'll have a video which explains the key topics. So we're saying, hey, here's the learning that's involved. Here are the concepts. And then we follow that up with another video of here are the specific exercises that our students use to build skills based on that knowledge, and that you as an advisor can use to help build the skills with your officer, right? We want this to be very practical and like start a way to build skills. And the key part for this, right, as the students go through their online modules, there's only so much you can do online. And so we have exercises, tools, and the one really cool part is we also launched something called the Advisor Meeting Guide, which gives just a framework of how to have monthly meetings with your officer, how to bring that to life. And so those are the tools that are bringing there. So
one of the things we often hear is, I don't know how to run a meeting with these guys, right?
Yep.
I don't really know how to talk to today's college student. So it's awesome that there are pieces in here that help an advisor walk through that.
Yeah. And to bring that up as far as like specific things to talk about for our high delta, high kappa, and high tau, we have a calendar in there of monthly topics to talk about.
Nice.
Right. So if we're thinking like, hey, also this is trying to help our undergrads plan a little bit. So it's like, hey, a high delta advisor in July, hey, can we start talking about September rush?
Sure.
Right. And so it's those kind of things. And we're thinking of, hey, what are the major activities for each officer? Take it back a month or two. And then, right, advisors know how to talk about that. And I would say, just as another plug for a great resource that launched or is launching this summer, our officer operations guides. We got new ones. And I think the officer operations guides plus the meeting guide is a great foundation and structure for working with officers. So that's awesome. That second part. And the last thing I wanted to mention for the orientations is the reflection exercise at the end. So for the Delta Tau and Kappa orientations, there is a short reflection on how you can build your officers' behavioral confidence and their technical competence. And it's a short reflection, maybe 150, 200 words for each section. So maybe 400, 500 total if you really want to write. And that's just a way for you to reflect, submit it to us. I'm right now reviewing every single submission that comes in. And then that, once you have the check mark for that, that is what will count towards the RMA credit as far as the logistics.
Have you had any notable reflections so far? I mean, I know you just started reviewing some of the advisor ones. Has there been anything that stuck out to you?
Yes, there have been a handful, actually a little more than a handful. We've gotten some guys have really started to submit things, which is great. And the overwhelming sentiment that I've gotten, which is really great, is seeing brothers relate their personal and professional experience after college to potential conversations they'll have with their officers. Right. And so guys are talking about, hey, these are conversations I have with my kids or my wife, my family. And hey, maybe I can build that sense of confidence in my officer as well.
Yeah.
Or even just getting excited about some of the exercises themselves. Like one thing I saw, which I want to highlight on here, is there's a goal budget activity for the high TAW, which is like, hey, right, how do you have a high zeta, have a goal? How do you build that in there for just how do you get another high zeta officer to make a budget? This advisor already made a whole plan in the reflection of having the high TAW work with another officer so their budgets are ready to go for this.
Nice.
And it's like, I know there are chapters that do that, and that's something really great. But I think exercises like this raise the floor for what our chapters can do.
Okay.
So I think those are two very exciting things I've seen.
That's awesome. Yeah. So how does an advisor access these? Where do they go to?
Yes, everything is accessible through the My Lambda Chi portal. However, in order to get to the My Lambda Chi portal, you have to sign up for the FSID. And I'm sure if you have questions about FSID, right, hit up our contacts here with volunteer support, or you can email our team at systems@lambdachi.org. From there, we call it the FSID. It's our single sign-on for all things Lambda Chi. You'll get access to the portal, and then from there, the Lambda Chi Academy. And once you get in there, there's a big tile on the homepage that says volunteer training, and then you can see the track as it applies.
Very cool. And this is what our undergraduate and our collegiate brothers see as well, right? I mean, they've got their own Stead Leadership College, but they're seeing My Lambda Chi, they're seeing the Lambda Chi Academy. So we it's another way that advisors can get a sense of what the collegiate members seeing today.
Yes. Yeah. Everything. My Lambda Chi portal is the home for everything. It includes where they'll put their roster, where they update their individual information. There's where members can pay their dues to the chapter, and then where the chapter can pay their dues, their general fraternity dues. So everything goes through there, and
cool.
It's really solid.
I got one more question, I think, unless I think of another one while we're talking. But one more question for you. You've spent a lot of time constructing these. A lot of thought has gone into it. We know these are tied with the RMA now, right? Why have we taken the time to do this? Why has the insurance company said, hey, this is worth giving credit to chapters whose advisory boards complete this? What's the thought process there? Where does it come from?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And the core part for this, right, is our volunteers are key to the success of our chapters, are key to the success of our undergraduates growing. And this is our part of our first steps into providing that premier and thorough volunteer support. Right. I've been here for 7 years, and this is now becoming a very robust system of support, because we've seen on a case basis where chapters have engaged alumni and volunteers have better outcomes. Right. And that's the core for this. So this is that first step of making sure we can have an engaged, supported, and just an excellent volunteer base, which should make our chapters safer.
Yeah. And Avery, I think we especially those of us who've lived that, who have had the luxury of being in a chapter that has had robust alumni support, I think we all know that alumni certainly are oftentimes an X factor to a chapter's success.
Yeah.
But we haven't necessarily done much about it from the Office of Administration standpoint until here just the last, 12, 18 months, right? So thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for helping to craft these. Any other final words you'd like to leave our advisors with?
Yeah, just everything we do is an iterative process. Right. So if there's feedback, if there's ways to say, hey, this could be better, or I want to learn about this, or hey, I'm not too sure about what's going on over here, let us know. Right. The last thing I want to do is make us think like, hey, this is our golden egg and we're done.
Right.
Right. This is a project where brotherhood and we should be working and improving this all together. And I love having my cross and crescent right here because that's the vision. How do we grow? So I'd say that's my final thought.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Avery. Advisors, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the work that you do. Be sure to check out these orientations. If you have any trouble logging into My Lambda Chi, let us know. Have a great start to your school year. And remember, it's always a great day to be a Lambda Chi. Thanks.